Call to order the ZBA Zoning Board of Appeals, July 18th, 7:30 PM. Roll call, Burek. Here. Dudek.
Here.
Cooper here. Case.
Here.
Comments from community not on agenda. Motion to approve agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nay. Motion carried. Approval of previous minutes from. What the heck was that, June
20th, 2023.
20th, 2023. We've had some different things on there that need to be changed. On page 2, comments from the ZBA group discussion. The second sentence. There were discussions of bringing setbacks to the board for review of the statutes. That discussion was taking it to the planning commission. Do you recall that? You weren't there. So.
Yeah, that's correct. And with the ultimately, it then would go to the board after the planning commission made a recommendation, but it starts at the planning.
Yeah, because that had nothing to do with the
Right.
board of review, and the way this is stated, it said setbacks to the board for review. What board?
Right.
You meant
I think it meant.
Meant
sent
going to
back
the planning
commission for review. Period, then take out of the statutes.
we'll correct that.
Do you have any other corrections?
Up at the top, I'm kind of confused with the time.
Yeah,
It says motion carried at 7:49. And then when you go down here to motion to close, it's at 7:46. That doesn't jive.
right.
So I don't know exactly what time it was, but then when we approved the variance, that was at 8:19.
My assumption is it's like 7:56 or 7 something.
Okay, so we'll put at 7:50.
Well, you know what? Here's the concern. Yeah, it's, you know, what you may want to do is just wait until the next meeting, because it's a little confusing here. This probably should not have been here. It is what I'm guessing, because we got,
Yeah, I was trying to make sense of it, and I said, well, this is the time.
oh, I
This is
see.
right.
Okay, let's see. So. That would have been 8:46 then, right? Because that was the second hearing.
No, because, no,
That's the second hearing. That's the end of the first one. And then this is the second. So the first one ended here,
wait a minute,
right? Okay, right.
carried at 7:55,
Right.
but then how,
And then we opened up the second hearing at 8 o'clock. And then we closed it, so that would have been probably 8:46 is probably the time. But we'll have to
not
confirm.
8:46, because the whole thing closed at 8:19 or 8:27.
Okay, so it would have been 8 something or other though. It wouldn't have been 7:46, it would have been 8 something. Or other. So we'll just look at the video.
Okay, we'll just put a question mark on that.
So
So,
this is where the error is right here.
right. So how do we say? It's not carried that we're approving them.
Well, technically, you don't even have to put the time in. the
Okay.
minutes.
I'm just looking in
So
case,
you know, you can just
just say it,
take it out,
right,
just take out the reference to 7:46 PM.
okay,
And Dave likes to do, put the time in, but you don't have to.
right,
So you want to just approve the minutes, just taking that time out then?
okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right,
So we'll approve the minutes with corrections.
with those corrections to the time. Removing the reference to 7:46 PM and then second bullet under comments CBA group discussion, just say there were discussions of bringing setbacks to the planning commission for review.
So since you're doing the minutes, you'll also have the video from Bruce to make them,
Yeah, but I mean,
Right.
I'm
right?
right,
You're doing two jobs. I
right,
know.
right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Well, wait, did we have, I'm sorry, did we have a motion? I forgot.
No. We did?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
You're talking about the agenda. You were thinking of the agenda.
Right,
So Stan, you're gonna,
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as approved. With the two corrections.
okay. Second it, Martha?
I second it.
All right.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Old business. New business. Motion to open the public hearing. 2023-268. I have a
All
motion,
right, I'll move to open the public hearing.
And I'll support.
all in favor?
Aye.
Nay, motion carried. Mr. Rudolph Bino, comments from the applicant. If you'd like to take the podium, aren't you, Mr. Rudolph?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to present your case?
I don't know, seen it, what's going on, so I don't know. We were a public meeting, whatever you guys. We decide, not to decide.
Well, to give us what your application says, so we understand it from your vocal point of view.
Yeah, I like to put a thing on a bond. 14 foot. But they're only giving me a 16 foot to the top of the line. And I guess that was too close, so I got stopped. So. That's where I am looking at.
Let me look at the. Where is it? So you're saying there is no burden to anybody. It is 16 foot from property line. The neighbors. I don't know, pine trees over there. Not enough room for pickup and tractors. The addition is 14 foot wide to put extra lumber in lawnmowers. So when I went by, you had a framing or something there.
Well, that's where I got stopped, yeah.
So how did you get stopped? Just out of nowhere?
No, I didn't have a permit, I was just working and put a leading to. Like out of the car.
The cement that I saw, was that also put in at the time of the framing?
No.
That was when you,
About a couple years ago.
when you put in that building that you and your friend were sitting? One was, you had the both doors open when I came there.
Yeah,
I drove because I couldn't walk.
yeah, that was my wife.
Okay.
Yeah, I just say, you know, go on and take a look, see what. That's what it is, and that's what I'm doing. Hopefully, I like to finish it, but I don't know. So it depends on. But it is.
Why wouldn't you want to put it to the north side to make that one longer instead of going out that few feet where I saw the frame, and then that's close to the property line?
There's no other place to put it. If I go towards the pond, I don't know if you've seen the picture, it's. Every, there, we go by it, right now I'm using it to exercise. That property, when you have to pass along, I'm not at the bottom. Something different. Inspector was saying that should have back. But in winter time or spring or fall, when the rains come in, there is no way to access it. I can't go down, you know, unless I put an extra driveway there.
I didn't see on this. Where's the well? Where's that on this thing?
It's on the front of the house. There's a hill. And it's on the front.
Yeah, your house is up on a hill
Yeah,
and
and
then,
it's on the front of the house. There's a hill coming down. It's very good.
Where's the septic?
Septic is on the west side of the house. The other side. So it's the empty property next to me with 10 acres. Septic.
this is really doesn't show much.
No, it's worth that. Actually, here's a. Or accurate.
I was there, but this doesn't really tell me much.
No,
No, I don't have a septic. I was just immediate area that I do.
You want more dimensional, right?
correct. Well, it's a dimensional variance from the setback requirement. Setback is 30 feet. It's a residential area. Setback is 30 feet. He wants to reduce that to 16 feet.
How many feet is a pond supposed to be from a structure?
25.
I think there's already an issue with the pond being too close to the.
It's pretty close. I was out there. I looked at it. You're talking about that one corner.
Yeah.
The back corner there. Yeah, it's close. But the thing is, so Mr. Bano built the house, built the barn, built the pond,
Right,
got permits for all those.
I did go, so,
That's part of
built the house.
the application process. Yeah,
Wow.
Lawn too.
so he's aware of the permit requirements.
That's it. Yeah, and this letter that it was. In here from Tracy. Says an applicant applied for addition to barn application number. That was not a permit number. What do they mean by application was issued? What are you looking
Where are you at?
on the letter? Okay, the letter.
from Tracy's. This one.
I got that. Oh, sorry, here it is. Yeah, so Tracy became aware that he was building there without a permit, and so he issued a stop work order.
But what's this application number?
Right, what is this application number?
Says
Is that a permit or an application number?
No, it's not a permit. No permit has been issued.
What did he apply for then? For addition to barn? What did he apply for?
He's applied for a variance, so he could add that addition to the barn.
Oh, that was what the application was. It says applicant applied for addition to barn, application number PB 22, et cetera, was issued. So what was issued to him? This is on the letter. Do you have a copy of the letter?
Yeah, I have a copy of the letter, but there was no permit that was issued.
Right.
To my knowledge, there was no permit issued, right?
Oh,
So I don't know, you know what? I don't know what that is. Tracy's not here.
Right,
And I
I'm
would be
confused.
surprised if Tracy-
What is the difference between an application?
Yeah.
And a permit?
There was no permit issued.
But in my opinion, an application shouldn't have even been,
Yeah, and all I can say is, I don't know without Tracy being here, I do know that sometimes people use forms. They don't read everything in there, they don't take it out, so it may have been part of a prior form letter, but I don't know what TB 22-0111 is.
I've never
Do
seen
you?
it on it, on any other.
Mr. Reno?
paper.
well,
You know what application PB 22-0111 is?
no, I was just going by what I got either in the mail. Or then somebody called me, come on over here. So when I got over here, the first time I was talking to inspector. He was saying. What's gonna happen? He was explaining to me the procedure. Says, you apply for DBA. For a permit. He says, I'm gonna deny it. Then you go for the. DBA for the. And whatever comes out of there. It's gonna be. I don't know. Who's doing what.
Okay, so you did what Tracy said, which is you applied to him for a permit and he denied it?
Yeah.
Okay.
and There was a fee for a DBA.
Yep.
Right, yeah, and that was it.
Okay. So, Michael, do you know what application PB 22-0111 is?
Tracy would know that one.
Did I call Tracy?
I guess so. Is there no way for us to look it up?
See if it's available. Full barn? You think it was the prior application?
But it says addition to barn, application number.
Application.
Well, look at the,
So he was given an application, had a number on it. Now,
He
I,
was given an application, then he was denied. So
Okay.
that he could go to the ZBA.
okay,
Yeah.
now I think I understand. All right.
I can't reach him.
So when they apply for a permit, they're numbered.
You don't get turned down until you apply for it.
I see. Okay, so they're saying that he applied for it and was turned down. Now I understand.
Then he could, then.
Does this tell you
appeal to
anything?
the ZBA.
But it says upon my review, it was discovered that he was
No.
building anyway. Pretty much.
There's no-
It says it was
there's no
discovered, the
numbers
lean-to is coming within 16
So,
feet.
the only thing I can do is-
Now, okay, now I understand what this, I believe I
He
understand.
proceeded without that.
I understand now. Okay.
Well, that's what I'm looking for, is that paper where
Right.
you write out all the.
You know, I mean, I think that's all interesting, whatever, but I think isn't the real issue whether or not
Yes, okay.
a variance, a dimensional variance should be granted. There was no permit granted.
Yes, and should a variance be granted?
correct.
That's the issue.
We'll close the public hearing. Do I have a motion
Motion.
and a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay. Motion carried. Now we'll have the board discussion. Any other comments to approve or deny applicant?
Well. Um. And I know you all know this already, but under section 7.7 B3 of our zoning ordinance, it describes the criteria we're supposed to look at in considering a dimensional variance. We can't grant a use one, but we can grant a dimensional variance, but we can't do it just because we want to. We have to be able to meet the requirements set forth there. So if you have your zoning ordinance with you, I'm on page 7-10, but you may have an excerpt from it there or a copy of it. And so let me just read it. So you all have the background. It says that a variance, and this is, I'm not reading everything, but I'm reading the relevant parts. A variance from the terms of this ordinance shall not be granted by the zoning board of appeals unless a written application is submitted demonstrating the following. A, that special conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land, structure, or building involved, and which are not applicable to other land structures or buildings in the same district. B, the strict and literal interpretation of the provisions of this ordinance would deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district under the terms of this ordinance. C, that the special conditions and circumstances do not result from the actions of the applicant, particularly any failure of the applicant to investigate the requirements of this ordinance before purchasing the property upon which a variance is requested. And D, that granting the variance requested will not confer to the applicant any special privilege that is denied by this ordinance to owners of other land, structures, or building in the same district. Non-conforming use of neighboring land, structures, or buildings in the same district and permitted use of land, structures, or buildings in other districts shall not be considered grounds for issuance of a variance. Appeals for variances shall be heard at a public hearing as herein required. Right, so those are the criteria A, B, C, and D that we have to consider when considering the application.
I don't see that he meets any of those.
Don't even.
I'm sorry, Martha, what'd you say?
I don't see
She
that,
doesn't see that
that he meets any of those,
none of them apply.
and that he may have caused some of the trouble inadvertently himself with the size of the pond and some other things.
Any special conditions, proofs, proofs. Excuse me.
No,
So I'm sorry, you asked Stan what?
If he saw any special conditions.
Okay.
Any other comments? No. May I have a motion to approve or deny applicant?
I make a motion to deny.
Second,
I'll support.
All in favor?
Roll call.
Roll call. I know, I just said.
Okay, so I for the,
Judith,
Aye.
Cooper, yes.
Yes.
Motion carried.
whose is this? Does it matter?
That's his. No, it's yours.
Yeah, it's, oh, the color. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, that's her.
well, we're done with that. We need to get the paperwork. I didn't get the,
Yeah, I got it right here.
so do you want me to?
You want to do the final decision? Paperwork?
Right.
You can hand in your mileage and maps to
Okay.
Mike or email them.
And did we give the Mr. Vino, are you aware of the decision?
Yeah.
Do you know what we decided? Go ahead and tell him.
Motion was to deny your application for doing what you want to do.
Where do I find the case number?
It's 202326.
It's on the minutes.
202326.
2026A is an apple.
268.
Thank you. I turn this into you? Like, okay.
No, me, and then I give it to you.
Okay. I'll make a prison staple.
As long as you punched in, you know what I mean,
Wait,
make sure everybody's punched in.
uh-oh, I didn't punch in. Did you punch in? Oh,
It's a joke.
oh,
Trust me.
okay. Because we had to punch in today.
Don't punch in before 7:30.
Okay,
Yeah, probably.
all right,
Don't
there you
put
go.
At 8:30. You mean.
There you go. Yes, we live in the country. If I want to.
Do you want to
um,
make a
If
motion
I
to
wanna-
close or do you want
Yeah.
to discuss?
We're just waiting for that and we
Okay.
want to discuss.
She wants to discuss the
Okay.
bylaws issue first. I mean,
Probably should have added it to the agenda as I.
Well, he said we could.
Okay,
Because then. Yeah.
right.
I'm coming back.
Yeah,
to remind me to wake up in the middle of the meeting, right?
that's right, yeah.
All right, so this is what I wrote, if this is okay with you, ZBA motion, I described the variance requested as a dimensional variance request to reduce side setback from 30 feet to 16. ZBA motion to deny variance request on the basis, my writing isn't the best, on the basis that none of the criteria for granting a variance as set forth in the zoning ordinance had been shown by the applicant.
Sounds great.
You did anything
Wait,
else?
what had been shown?
That none of the criteria
Matt had been
for
shown.
granting a
yes.
variance as set forth in the zoning ordinance had been shown by the applicant.
Yes, exactly.
Is that okay?
Mhm.
All right, so we just initial this. Got the deal, and then you sign it. All right. Oh, and I think I need to sign at the end too. Go ahead. I'll sign it at the end.
You sign it over here, Diane.
Oh, that's what you wanted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need to sign it.
Okay.
we all put our
Yeah, you're
initials
right.
next to
You're
it.
right.
Put your initials next to it.
Next to my name.
Yeah, but,
Because I don't think last.
Next to
time I
Dave?
did, I think we-
oh, yeah, she
Next to
wrote
me.
it on,
We
yeah.
should, I think,
Yeah.
too.
So,
Thank you.
And then it's right there.
right. You're right. Right.
Spoken just like a teacher.
I need to sign it too.
Oh, that's.
I think right there.
And whose pen is this? This is Diane's.
So then I.
Interesting.
The third.
That's not my wheelhouse.
Okay. There you
So
are.
it's part of the minute.
And you're collecting these?
Yeah. Okay, is this times
7
2
miles. That's times 2, that's total 7,
total?
total.
Okay. In January. I mentioned and MTA mentioned, and we've never had, as far as I know. Bylaws for the Board of Review. And this year, it seems we've had a little. Some difficulties or misunderstanding or something with some of the board members. And in order to jump ahead of possible more problems, if we have bylaws to go to when something comes up that isn't right. And so I would like us to have a special meeting with the entire board, because we all have the right to have our say. And the different issues that I think, this is only a form by the MTA. This is not, this is just something that we change however that we
Okay.
want.
Okay.
And how does this go from us to be approved by you, or what is the procedure?
Well, you're the one that looked into it.
Well, I don't know if our minutes or our bylaws need
I
to
think
be,
we'd have to draft something.
Right.
What we want in it.
and have the board approve it,
Yeah, then I think it would have to be approved by the board.
because there have just been several issues of honestly today, when we got the confirmation that one of the board members was not coming. If we or Mike had not given Martha all the information, she would have had 7 hours to do her homework and be at this meeting tonight. I don't know what anybody's excuse is for not coming, but we are given at least 2 weeks to schedule our personal appointments or whatever. And if an applicant comes in and he is entitled to a full board, If we'd had a tie tonight, the answer would be no. The swing vote maybe could have changed it. And it's not fair to me for the applicant when we are appointed people by the supervisor to do a job. And I think there should be some kind of rule or understanding or something. Yes, if you have a last minute problem, I understand it. I understand that 3 is a quorum. And we have to make it work. And I don't know the reasons why we've had 2 no-shows and 1 late. And I'm not demeaning a person. I'm talking about the law or the fairness to the people. It's never against any person that I make a comment about. Because I get blamed for you don't like me. I like everybody, but I just want to get ahead of a potential problem. And if you don't have a law, and let's say, for instance, somebody got fired. I don't know today in the courts if they can get on you for firing them. Nowadays, the criminal gets away with everything. So I would like us to, I don't know when or how, and right now there's no other cases coming up. And to get this going forward, because how do we solve these problems without something to go to say, just like we did tonight, according to this, you did this and we're done. And we need somebody in this board that is dependable and that does their homework and solve people's problems. This is not an easy board. It does a lot of homework, and my second issue would be if I were to be absent and Stan would take my place tonight. He's a board member at $60. I'm a chair at $75. When he comes in to take my place, how is he getting paid? He should be getting paid because he's doing my job. And that's another issue that should be clarified. It isn't up to somebody because of personal feelings to make that decision on how we are paid, in my opinion.
So are you saying we need to write some?
So
proposed
I
rules?
would like to know where could we have a meeting, when could we have a meeting? Because we would need to notify this entire board so that we all have our say and we all agree on these going forward.
Well, my recommendation, as Stan mentioned, is to first get a draft of the bylaws. Just.
And how do we do that? Do we have to be together?
No.
So do you want to do a draft with some of the issues, since you're an attorney, since you're stepping
So
up the plate?
you want to get free legal services on there, right?
Yeah. Well, you should get.
Say Bruce, yeah.
You should be getting secretary paid for tonight.
I don't even know there is different.
There is a difference. There is a
Well,
difference.
that's new.
Me, Dave and I get 75, you all get 60.
Right.
And
And if he notes it on his sheet that he hands in and says that he was the acting secretary today.
It's on the other sheet, but it's not on my.
but we need verification. And that's
I didn't
why
know that secretaries got paid more.
this is why
I never got
want
paid more
this in the
secretary planning
minutes
commission.
before this is
Not back then.
dismissed. Because it's not he said, she said. These are issues that going forward need to be settled because you need to have something that says this is what
Put
you're
a note on
supposed to
there
do.
that you were
Okay.
acting secretary.
And he might not speak up, and Stan never spoke up when in January, when you chaired.
Because I knew it was gonna be a fight,
But that's not a
and it
reason.
shouldn't be.
That's
You're
right. And I want this to go on.
Our decision shouldn't be decided by the township.
That's why I'm bringing this up tonight. I want this settled
So
legally.
I do think that, you know, if you want bylaws, you have to put together a draft and distribute to the CBA, and then whenever they have another scheduled meeting, you know, a hearing, and bring it up as part of the new business.
Yes, we all need to have a thought with this rough draft of what we'd like in there, or personal feelings, you know, the issues you brought up tonight.
I want that in those bylaws.
Right.
Do any of the other committees have bylaws? To trust the
Planning
township
Commission
board
has
does?
bylaws, that's it.
Yeah, we do, but what about the
But we have
board?
never
Township
in
board
by,
doesn't have bylaws?
because I discussed that with you in January, remember? And we brought it up at the organizational meeting. But now we're in the 7th month and we've never done a thing. And from January to now, we've had issues that should be in those bylaws.
Diane, do you have a copy of the planning commission bylaws?
No,
Okay, so we can get that to you.
to compare.
Michael, you've got those, right? Nope.
I'm not, I don't have access to them. If
How,
I
they're
have-
available,
I have a
I'll
copy.
find them and get them to you.
They're very short and. you
I
know,
don't know who.
that's what I was gonna ask you, was how many pages are
They're
there?
very short and.
3 or 4
may not-
pages.
May not meet all the requirements here. You know, but maybe what you might want to do, Diane, is ask Joe Tangeri if he has some bylaws that he would recommend, because he services a lot of different
Right.
municipalities.
Where he could give you an example of what some other
Yeah, we need
townships.
some examples so that,
Sure. So
and then
let's
we
ask
need our
Joe.
own, these problems that we've had since January. Because there's nothing in these that cover what
Right.
I'm making an issue about.
We don't want them to get elaborate, but the
No,
issues that
no,
you
but
brought
these-
up tonight
These are
should
major
be in
issues.
those, right?
I think Joe's on vacation still, right? So let's send him an email, and when he gets back, you know, he can send to you some copies of ZBA bylaws that he's familiar with, that maybe others use. So let's just take a look at it, and you know, we
Right.
can borrow heavily.
But then when would we get together like we are right
Now,
now?
let's get that from Joe.
That's what I'm saying.
If we all get copies,
Why don't you get that, and
Is
take
Joe
a
on
look
that-
at it,
on
make a
this
recommendation.
Paper with the directory? Is he in the directory?
No, yes, he is in the directory.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Nope, I don't see it
Mike,
there.
maybe you can get me his email or,
Joe's, I'll send it to you.
okay,
Yeah, so I'd say, you know, get some examples, go through it, pick what you think is the best. And, you know, you may want to like cut and paste or whatever, but think what's best, and then just send it out to the rest of the ZBA. And let's put it on the agenda for the next regular meeting that we have.
you may not. Who knows if we're gonna get any more with the,
We may not, but I would just, you know, I don't know that we want to have a special meeting. just
yeah,
like
we
that.
could give it time. If it drags on a couple months and we don't, and we all communicate and find out
but you're the only one
with
that
examples.
I can't send an email to that you print out.
But I'll give you my text, that you can text that to me and then I'll have it. If you get something from Joe,
Okay.
you can just take my phone number, text it to me, and I will read it. I just don't want pertinent township business coming through my personal phone.
Okay,
Just have Joe send it to me, a copy of it, and I'll
you
US
take care
mail
of
it
it.
to
Okay, okay,
Stan. And I can email it to the rest of you
Right.
folks. Would that work?
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah,
Okay, I'll just US mail it to them.
And then I think the third thing, I don't know if you covered or not, it's like tonight. About the alternate should get a packet too.
Well, I did that
Yeah.
because I was
I
afraid
think-
that
Yeah,
what
You did that.
happened again
we
happened. so.
tried with. Before, but I see it now, it's a good idea because this last minute cancellation, you know, that. Like she
I
said,
sent that email out today right after I got it.
Yeah, I know you did.
Kim, so I mean, it was only You know,
Dave
it's
gave
2
us
hours
plenty
before
of
the meeting,
notice.
so.
Dave gave us plenty of notice, but we didn't get notice from him.
But some people never check their email. And that, well, I didn't get it. Well, when was the last time you checked your email or your texts?
Well.
If you're on a
Michael-
board, you need to.
Michael mailed the packet a while ago.
Yeah, I know. But on his emails to us, he said for the last 3 times, please reply that you have received the packet. If I never looked at my email, if I'm on a board or I'm on a committee or I'm in a club, you're constantly checking because things are going on. You can't just, oh, today's the meeting, I'm not gonna be there. That's not what you do.
I
I
agree.
don't know that you're gonna be constantly checking, but yes, you should regularly check.
Well,
Make sure
at
that
least
you're.
once a day. Okay, motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn
Second,
at 8:17.
All in favor? Opposed, motion carried.
Mike, do I give this to you to dispose of? Shredded or whatever,
Then I gotta give this to Mike.
rather than me take it home?
You can take it home if you want.
No, I don't want to. I want
Whatever. I can,
We'll properly
We can
dispose of
find it in